Hey everyone, Spirit, with another special gift for you to spend more of your quarantine with. And we also want to get everybody here with the fandom's finest on our side here. We want to get your feedback and opinions and get any suggestions that you might have. Because here we just did a quick sample commentary for the first Indiana Jones appearance, which of course was the great Raiders of the Lost Ark. And a lot of personal friends of the show have requested that we do commentaries and pretty much breakdowns exactly the way you're going to hear it in commentary form. So we definitely wanted to throw it out to you out there to see if you had interest or if you had any feedback or input and how you guys would like to kind of react and respond to this. We'll listen closely and see if you want to hear us do another one or you want to hear the rest of this one or anything kind of along these lines. So go ahead, take a listen, and let us know.
Another thing on here that I love is the fact that he's hanging around with that monkey.
The monkey, he's got her monkey, yeah.
He wasn't too fond of before. Now Marion's gone.
Marion's monkey.
And then he's holding on to it.
Which will come off the wrong way in some circles. But we'll never again speak of Marion's monkey. The thing I want to get to is the monkey with Karen Allen, because like I said, they're just too damn cute together. And if we have a chance to get there, if it's flowing good enough, I want to just briefly touch on the fact that, like, I mean, again, I won't speak for the women's perspective because I can't, but it's like, I never understood that there was a huge problem with, like, oh, there's not enough, strong women in film and stuff. It's like, I mean, I grew up with this. She is one tough woman in this film. One of my favorite female characters of all time, right? Neck and neck with Sigourney Weaver and all these girls from the '80s, right? So I kind of want to touch on that a little bit if it kind of plays well and we kind of get there. Feel free to talk about anything you want to talk about. Okay. You good? I know it's kind of a weird thing to try this, but is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just thinking I'm probably going to follow your lead at first.
Okay. So I don't know how recently you've seen this. You're going to have to rack your brain on, like, okay, we've been watching Raiders of the Lost Ark. Well, let me just start it from here then. I'm trying to get to the scene where the monkey shows up. Wait a minute, let me make sure that's even after this. I saw it earlier, but I don't have this movie memorized like that. Yeah, the monkey does show up, okay. I think Karen Allen and the monkey is just the cutest damn thing ever.
I don't know if I would be able to handle it if you were going to come on here and criticize that. I was like, oh, don't tell me he's going to be like, oh, it's the dumbest thing.
Man, the best moment in all of our podcasts is when I say, and I did word it terribly, but I say, charming doesn't have to be hokey. It doesn't have to be, good evening, Miss Lane. You really shouldn't smoke. And you're like, are you? Like, you can hear, you get closer to the mic. So anybody listening, pictures in their head, are you criticizing that? And I had to be like, whoa. Like, I was actually, it sounds like I'm generally afraid of you for a moment there. Like, it's about to blow me out of my chairs. And they don't make them like that anymore, kids. I'm sorry, They'll never know. They'll never know what it's like. They just don't make them like that anymore.
Nope.
Oh, and there's the middleman. Let me just double check real quick that he didn't bash your rear end. Totally missed you. So anyways, man, he keeps giving me the wrong mail. I've been getting my neighbor's mail for months now. It's not good for her because apparently she's been called to Superior Court.
Jeez.
Anyways, and speaking of, they don't make them like that anymore. Indiana Jones. My goodness. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Which, for a long time, I protested watching because I thought Raiders meant the Oakland Raiders, so I'd have no part of it. Until, because everybody talks, oh, Raiders.
Right.
Raiders, right? Yeah, Raiders. I'm like, what are Raiders?
Please tell me this was pre-teens though when you refused to watch it because.
Oh yeah, I was like 4 years old.
Okay, good.
Because I remember watching the games and trying to make the connection. How does that logo fit up with this?
Right.
I had the VHS cover. I was like, where's the whip or something? You know, blah blah. Yeah. And then that's when my father explained to me. My father realized I must start learning this kid up, or he's just going to be stupid and not know what Raiders means. And yeah, man, they just don't make them like that. I don't think they could make them like that anymore.
No.
Right. But that has to do with the fact that the audiences have changed. Like I said, Raiders of the Lost Ark probably wouldn't play all that well these days. You'd probably have people saying it's boring and confusing, and somebody would say something. They would legitimately and honestly be telling the truth when they say something stupid like, do I have to read the Bible, before I watch this movie to know what's going on? I mean, it's that bad.
Yeah, it's true. That's how it's gone today. They don't make them like they used to.
I don't like the way I pronounce bad. I sound like I was the Joker. Rachel, bad. So. And I mean, I love this part because, she just asserts herself.
Yeah, I was going to say when you mentioned, badass characters, just the way she does this in a very take control manner and just, matter-of-factly, there's no bargaining. She kind of has power.
Your GD partner, right?
Yeah.
And she's in the screen. That's a great shot. I just always love that, and the way she held up the medallion and everything, and it's like... and you're right, too, because, not trying to get, political and stuff. I obviously cannot speak from a female perspective, and I, wouldn't try to, but I just don't understand how there's this big thing about, we need so many more of these type of characters that we have to shoehorn in as best we can, because it's seriously, the 80s was lit up with strong, tough women characters, and does Marion have to be Indiana Jones for it to work? You understand she's a tough woman,
Right.
Oh, this right here. Johnny Rhys Davis, right? Cairo, City of the Living.
He's one of my favorite characters in...
Sala?
Yeah.
Sala? Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah. I was thinking about, I would totally cosplay as Sala. I love him in Last Crusade. He lifts his little cap up. Hi-yo, Indy!
Yeah.
Oh, man, the monkey. Look at this, man. Look at this. Look, is it Karen Allen? Isn't she just cute as a button, right?
Yeah. I love this.
Her and that monkey are the cutest thing, right? Look at her. How can you not fall in love with Karen Allen?
That look says the same that he just had too, by the way.
What's that?
So that look kind of conveys the same that he gives.
Yeah, everybody's got the same look. Yeah, and it's just it's man. I just just to go back to that point, not to and I'm not trying to avoid it, but it's just my gosh, you had Sigourney Weaver in Alien. She is that movie, so she's every bit as groundbreaking and amazing and spectacular as the first Alien film was, and under Ridley Scott's direction, right?
Right.
Even the Lambert character is so real and so human. She's a damsel, she's terrified. Well, yeah, if you were in that situation, hello, right? Yaphet Kotto is terrified. He has a different way to handle it because he's this macho type of guy, right? But those two female characters, Sigourney and then to do Ghostbusters after that, she's so underrated in Ghostbusters. She is amazing in that film. She's not just I'm the damsel, save me, and Dr. Venkman. She rebuffs Venkman for a good portion of the film and stuff, Mm-hmm. And you had Sandal Bergman, who played Valeria. Conan's, the woman, Conan's life revolves around Valeria. It's so much does he revolve around her that it even carries into the sequel. The fact, that's right, the whole sequel is him trying to get her back, right? And the fact that she just defies, the afterworld and stuff, right? And, the same way, again, Karen Allen just, taking, kind of outsmarting Belloc and all that stuff, right? Out drinking everybody. My God. I can understand wanting more, and I'm all for that. But it's I think there's an underappreciation for how awesome these characters were. Right. To where it's we had nobody to look up to type of thing.
You get this vibe of they didn't exist.
Yeah.
It almost seems if that's how it's being looked at. It's there was never anything there. We need this now. There should be more, but...
Yeah.
let's not pretend that there was nothing. There was something.
Yeah,
There's
and that's sad because, like I said, because it's like it's sort of like unintentionally disrespectful in that type of way, you know.
right.
And her and that dang monkey. I mean, again, I mean, look at I love this. This great exchange they have, right? She's like, he's got your looks, right? You know, it's our baby, right? You know, how can you say that about our baby? He's got your looks and your brains, you know. But I mean, this back and forth that they have. I mean, she rocks this guy over the head with the plate or the pot or whatever it is, and you know, she doesn't. She's not the damsel in distress. She doesn't get thrown in the thing by these guys because she's overpowered. She herself climbs
She
in.
outsmarts herself, basically.
Yeah, well, the monkey does her in. Yeah, she climbs in the thing, and like you said, would have got away with it. Is outsmarted herself because the monkey came back. Because the monkey was in love with her. Because even the monkey knew, you know, even the monkey knew this is a great babe right here, one awesome woman. Did you ever react as a kid? Were you like, oh, she died? You know, because of how they fake her out. They fake out.
I don't remember if I did or not because I know I didn't see this movie in order. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I already knew that she was alive at a later part in it. But the thing is, when I was a kid with movies that have sequels, kind of an idiot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I could have seen the part where they do the fake out where you think she's dead, and I could have thought it was a different movie after
This is the wrong series to be out of order on because of how the fact that it's actually out of order. How Temple comes after Raiders, it's all that stuff, right? Yeah, this is one of those weird movies for me where I saw a ton of bits and pieces of it, and yet at the same time, I only remember it's probably the 5th or 6th time I watched it was I actually sat down and watched the whole thing all the way through. I think it was a McDonald's promotion too. I want to say they offered the VHS and a Happy Meal, right?
That's the first time I bought it.
Pretty sure that's the one I came home with. Yeah, and that's the first time I sat down and watched it. It might be that. It might have been.
Yeah, what did deals were around back then?
Yeah, I know, right? Now they give you an apple. Here, go be healthy. What the? You know, we got movie. Yeah, I got Back to the Future, Field of Dreams. I probably would have taken an apple over Field of Dreams, but anyway. Wasn't a big fan, but yeah. I remember being faked out by her death, and it kind of goes back to the Conan thing I just mentioned. Indiana Jones is destroyed by her loss,
right?
So she's such a respected and equal character to him that he's a mess without her. He's actually a drunken suicidal guy. I didn't notice that until the other day when I watched it. He is. Did you notice that he's drunken suicidal? Because he's drunk. Yeah. He picks up in there. Yeah, he picks up the glass to go talk to Belloc because the Nazis
tell him like, "Hey, that's not how you're gonna die." And he's
epic. He says, the Ark. It's a radio to God. You want to talk to God? Let's go talk to him together. I got nothing better. And he pulls his gun. It's about to go down if Salah didn't send his kids in there. I never picked up on that until the other day. So again, but it's
kind of disappointed.
Yeah, it's off the back. I mean, that scene to me again. You want to talk about Dark Knight and stuff. That scene, those two guys talking dialogue, that's what you don't have in these movies anymore. Right. And those this film has 3 or 4 of those where, I mean, you were just talking about how you love Salah, right? Well, when he's first introduced, how he talks about, Indy and he explains the Ark and it's not meant to be touched by man.
Right.
They have the same type of conversation with Marcus Brody at the beginning. And there's another one between him and Belloc there, and they're talking about, mirror for each other, and, it's just such great, you just don't get, they don't understand now. That's the dialogue that makes these films great when you add this kind of action-adventure stuff to it, as opposed to Transformers films, where it's just like, well, I think everybody knows, And the Fast and the Furious, as much as I didn't like those films when they first came out, man, that first Fast and the Furious movie is a masterpiece compared to the drivel they're coming out with now, jumping from building to building with cars and
jumping out of planes.
Yeah, that movie just talk about a film that shifted gears and doesn't give a crap anymore. I mean, now there's a submarine in this. How could you top the tanker and the airplane? Well, yeah, they figured it out. Submarine. There's a submarine riding with cars now along the ice. Like what? How did that go from we're gonna raid the shop and bust this guy? How did they go from that? And you're not ready for race wars. How did they go from that to jumping from the buildings in Dubai? Right.
Right.
Now, thankfully, these Indiana Jones films, as far as you may think they went off the, I don't think they went that far. Maybe nuking the fridge is a bit much, but
Right.
Whatever. Paul Freeman.
You know what? Watching this again, I do remember the time I did see that I was faked out by that. Now, it goes back to me also being a bit of an idiot and thinking that maybe it's a different movie from the one where she was in at the end,
Yeah.
or maybe that part at the end was earlier in the movie.
And man, he sells it too. That just,
Yeah.
see, that's when you have those scenes though. One word can make the whole thing because he just says, Marion, right? In that kind of saddened voice and all that stuff, right? And when you have that, it's a totally different deal or whatever. And again, the same thing too. I mean, man, the world needs more Paul Freemans too, because that scene that he has at the end, I was just thinking about that the other day too, and it's just like blow it up. Blow it back to God. Like, my goodness, right? Like, just so freaking good, right? You want to see it open as much as I do. I mean, to have characters written like that and actors who can deliver, I love this line.
By the way, another thing on here that I love is the fact that he's hanging around with that monkey.
The monkey, he's got her monkey, yeah.
He wasn't too fond of before. Now Marion's gone.
Marion's monkey.
And then he's holding on to it.
Which will come off the wrong way in some circles. But we'll never again speak of Marion's monkey. Or Jodie Foster's beaver. What? Decent film. I haven't seen it. Ricky Gervais, man. Ricky Gervais. Greatest joke ever. He played her out hard, man. I must not talk about Jodie Foster's beaver. What? I haven't seen it. Neither have any other guys in this room. So wrong. Yeah, telling you, man, Belloc, man, this just puffing on isn't that a hookah, is that what it's called? Little table smoke thing, right? Puffing on the hookah, toasting drinks, just decimating, Indiana Jones. This great line about the watch, you just don't get this anymore. It's a lost art. So yeah, when people tell me, George Lucas, terrible writer, terrible with his ideas and everything, I'm like, oh really? I think we just hit the mark too.
He did.
Okay, hang on 1 second. I gotta make sure I hit this at the right time.
Once again, Spirit here as we let you go here, and just want to remind you, go ahead and let us know what you thought, and let us know any other advice or opinions or show requests or anything that you'd like to let us know. Go ahead and leave it down below. Have a great one. Stay safe, my friends.